Okay, so hi everyone. How are you doing? Everyone is good, right? So I hope, like yesterday, I have started this DevOps demo yesterday, right? So I hope if anyone is not was not present that time, okay, my team would have approached and they would have shared the drive link, okay. So if you have not seen that recording, I request after this class, please refer that recording because I am starting this batch from very, very basics. Okay. Because I understand if you belong to non-IT, you will not be able to understand the technical jargons like development team, operations team, and so on. Right? So what I am gonna do, every class I used to have a recap, revision. Okay, so I will have a quick revision on the previous topic that we have covered. Okay, just 15-minute revision. Okay, so let's start. So yesterday that was DevOps class 1 and the topics that we covered. What is DevOps and why DevOps, right? So first, what is DevOps? We have seen DevOps is the combination of two words. What is that word? The first, development team, and the other is operational team, right? So, okay, so I got this point. DevOps means dev plus operational team, right? So, can anyone tell me what is development team, right? Because if I belong to, just a second, yeah, so everything is good, right? I have started recording because mostly I used to forget about recording, so I have to take care of this, right? Okay, so guys, I hope my screen is visible and I am audible to everyone. Okay, so if you guys respond in chat, I will appreciate that because I need this. I like when the session will be very very interactive. I like that classes. Okay, so no worries. You can respond in chat, and if you have any questions, just drop your text in chat box. Okay, do not unmute yourself because even I don't want to get disturbed. Right? I will go with my flow, and at the end, I'm gonna take everyone's question. Okay, for sure. Okay, so now combination. DevOps is a combination of development team plus operations team. So if anyone who belongs to non-IT, right? Because suppose because I have also started my career as a non-ITian, okay, so I understand. So if anyone belongs to non-IT, they can ask what is called development team, what is called operational team. Okay, so no worry, I'm gonna explain that also. So development team in an IT company is like a group of builders who create computer programs or application, and they have different roles like the architect who plan how everything work, the builder who writes the code, and the tester who makes sure everything is working correctly. Okay, so what I mean to say, let me use the paint. What I mean to say, development team is not a single person. Okay, it's a group of people. Okay, so development team, there will be architect who will plan everything, architect, and then there will be set of people which we call developer. Developer who will be writing the code, and the third team will be tester. That means whatever the developer has written, it has to be correct, right? So there will be some people, some sets of people who gonna test the code. So architect will do what? Architect gonna do planning, right? Then developer will start writing the code. You can call code, you can call software programs, anything. Just a second, guys. Yeah, I apologize. Yeah. So developer will be writing the code. Code means what? Just understand programming, software programming. Okay, programs. As a DevOps engineer, you should not know any program, not required at all. Because I understand because like I have seen so many students, they will have a question that like suppose if I want to switch to this domain, or suppose if I want to learn this, I don't have coding background, I don't have coding experience, will I be able to survive in this or not? So do not worry, there is no such prerequisite. A simple prerequisite is there, that you should have a laptop or computer or desktop, and that too with internet speed. That is enough. Okay, so now coding program will be taken care by developer. A tester will be there. Tester, what it gonna do? It will test the programs. What programs? The same that has been written by developer. Okay, so this three profile you will find under development team. This is known as development team, right? We have discussed this yesterday. Okay, now what about operational team or operations? So you can see what is operations team in an IT company, right? In an IT company. So operations team in an IT company is just like the maintenance crew. Let me highlight this word. It's like a maintenance crew that takes care of everything after it is built, right? They make sure that programs and system keeps running smoothly, right? This team handles the things like setting up of servers, managing database, making sure the network is working well, keeping everything secure, right? So they are those heroes who stays behind the scene, right? You, like everyone watches movie, right? So whatever the personality we see in the screen, it's not just because of those personality film got created. No, there will be bulk amount of team, the team who stays behind the scenes, right? Producer, director, so many teams will be there who will help to produce the film, right? Similarly, here also operation teams, they are the heroes who will be behind the scenes, right? What they does, they will set up the servers, they will manage the database, they will make sure that everything is working well, and also they will take care about security. Okay, so that means operation team will have some sets of people who will be creating servers, right? So creating servers means I can call them server admin, or even I can call them system administrator or server administrator, right? Someone tells that I'm working as a server admin. Someone tells that I'm working as a window administrator, right? Window system administrator or server admin. So these people will be responsible for what? They will be creating the servers. They will be creating the servers. Okay, why they will be creating the server, I'm gonna go with that. Okay, so now understand, operation teams has server admin, the set of people who will be taking care of setting up the servers, and one more team will be there, that's known as build and release engineer. Build and release engineer. Okay, so this I am talking about the normal process, the normal approach what we used to follow before 10 years back. It's called traditional approach, or we can call this earlier approach, previously what we used to follow. Okay, so here nowhere you will find DevOps engineer. Okay, so you can see right now we are discussing about what we are discussing about development team, operations team. Okay, now we will discuss how this phases, what is the flow of this phases. Okay, so we will discuss this, like suppose the first phase planning will be done by architect means it can be your project manager, who will be discussing about the requirements, project manager, or it can be CEO, or it can be CTO, or it can be business analyst, right? It depends. Okay, so suppose If anyone tells, suppose a client approach to us, and he is telling that I want a website, the name will be example.com, and also I need an app, right? Suppose he wants to come up with the e-commerce website, e-commerce e-commerce website, okay, e-commerce website, just like Flipkart, okay, just like Flipkart. So you can see Flipkart. Just a second, there is a disturbance. Okay, I apologize for that. Yes, so you can see this is Flipkart website, right? So I cannot that like, if someone is trying to have a small business, a startup business, just like Flipkart, right? He cannot compete with Flipkart because we know Flipkart is a brand, right? He will have 1,000 plus of products, right? So suppose a person, this client, we cannot call person, the person who gives us service, we call that client. Okay, this is the important jargons you have to remember. We call that client. Okay, client. And suppose this is my company, I am working in an IT company. This is IT company. Okay, now this client approached to my company, some X, you can call XX company. He approached to us, our company, and he is telling that I need one e-commerce website to be developed, and the name should be example.com, and also I need related application, so that it will be easier for user. They can install the application and they can easily access that from their mobile, Android, iPhone, anything, right? Or some people, if they don't want to install application, they will go for websites. Okay, so now what we used to follow earlier means 10 years back. Okay, so once we got this project, this is known as project. Project means creating application or website. We got one project. So this person, he approached to my company and he gave this business. He gave this project. Okay. So the very first thing, my senior, my company head, project manager, CEO or CTO or business analyst, they will be discussing everything. They will be planning. They will be asking the requirement, that tell me, okay, we're going to provide you the service, we will create website, and also we're going to create the application. Tell me when you need this, how much time you're going to give to me, or how much time you're going to give to my company to build this application. Okay, so they will be discussing. So the very first point, let me make a note of that. Okay, so first planning will be done. Planning means they will be sitting, they will have the meeting, they will ask the requirement, what is the requirement, how much time they will give, right? And what will be the charges and all, everything will be decided. Okay, so this part, planning means collection of the requirement, collection of the client requirement, client's requirement, and what we can call, and how to implement this, right? Project manager, everyone gonna discuss this, how to implement this all. So this is planning phase. Okay, this is the first phase. So right now whatever I'm discussing, okay, this phase will be equal to each and every company, every IT company. This is the planning phase. Okay, so once discussion done, this is more or like, it will be like discussion. Okay, discussion has been completed. Okay, so they came up with the proposal, and the proposal is, what is the proposal? To create e-commerce website, we can call proposal or project. Project is to build e-commerce website and the name website as well as application as well as app. The name will be example.com. You can take any domain name, just like flipkart.com, amazon.com. Okay, example.com. Okay, proposal received, planning done. Once planning is done, what is the next phase? Okay, so once planning is done, the next phase will be what? The code will be written. So what do you think? This is the website. So without coding, this website will be developed. No, right? This website, you can see there will be so many catalogs: grocery, mobiles, fashion, electronics, homes, appliances. This, right? Each catalog. If I click on grocery, if I go for mobile, there will be under sub, like subcategories. We can call subcategories, right? So to design each catalog, to design this website from top to bottom, behind there will be a programming. Behind there will be a programming. But do not panic, because the programming part will be taken care by developer. Okay, so now the second phase is developer phase. That means coding. The second one, coding phase. Here the developer. So now whatever the proposal received, the planning has been done by the head. Now project manager will be discussing with their team. They will be discussing with their team, right? So suppose right now I am working in some ABC team. Okay, this is my team. Okay, and here I'm talking about this previous approach. Okay, not right now, because right now DevOps is going on. So here nowhere you will find DevOps. Okay, why DevOps came into the picture, I want to cover that point. Okay, so now suppose I am working in this team. Here we will have a head, that's called project manager, and under this team we will have developers, 2 3 developers. We will have tester, we will have server admin, system admin, and we will have build and release engineer. So in our team there can be 14 15 members, or there can be 9 to 10 members. Okay, so this is a team. Okay, so now my we had a meeting, and my project manager told clearly that we got this new proposal and now we have to start working. Okay, so the very first thing, developer has to work. What he has to work? He has to develop the code. He has to develop the code. He has to start the programming part. Okay, he will start the programming. Okay, he will start writing the programming. Okay, now, so suppose he the developer started writing the programming, and here I have suppose two set of developer in my project. I'm talking about in my project, not in whole company. I'm talking about my team. Okay, now we have two developer. They started writing the code, right? So to create a website, a huge website having this many catalogs and subcategories, right? What do you think? What is the minimum time? The minimum time, suppose if I suggest, it will be 2 months. It's not a joke, guys. If see, because every catalog has to be designed. You can see sign in, you can see become a seller. This has to be designed, and for each category there will be 10 number of 100 number of codings required. The pages I'm talking about, 10 number of pages of codes. Okay, so now suppose if I take minimum time, now 2 months they have started writing, and they took 2 months of time. Okay, now once they have written the code, how tester gonna take? What do you think? Tester will go and ask that give me the code? No, it's not like, it's not the correct process. So what tester will do, once the coding has done, tester gonna push the code into a central location, into a central location. Okay, so this is known as, just understand, this is central storage. Okay, just how we have the Google Drive, right? So you can think as central storage. Okay, developer will be pushing the code to the central storage so that from here anyone will be able to access the code, right? Because if developer will be keeping the code in their system, in their laptop, how the other person they gonna access the code, right? Now they will push the code here. That means after 2 months, suppose in planning they have taken 1 week of time. They had the meeting with the client and they come up with the proposal, everything is decided. Now 1 week time gone here. Now 2 month time gone here, right? Now the developer push the code to the repository or central storage. Okay, and from here now tester gonna pull the code. Tester will take the code and tester will start testing the code, right? So to test this code, it's not a single day of work, right? Because the website will be huge, there will be millions billions of pages of codes, right? So now suppose if I'm talking about a small startup, okay, it has suppose thousands pages of code. Now tester will take minimum 1 month of time, right, to test all the codes from A to Z, from page 1 to 1000 page. So you can page 1 to page 1000. Okay, suppose right now the coding consists of 1000 page. Okay, now developer will take tester will take 1 month of time to test the code. Okay, now everything is working correctly, everything is all good, there is no bugs in the code. Okay, now tester part is done. This is development team task is done, because development team, just a second. Okay, development team means architect will be there, developer will be there, tester will be there. Okay, tester will approve that everything is working fine. Now the task operations team task comes. What is the task? First, this code will be taken by the server admin or system admin will take the code. What they gonna do? They will start creating the servers. Why they will create the servers? See, this website has been deployed or hosted on servers. Why? Because so only my users they will be able to access the website, right? I cannot keep this website on my laptop, right? So I will host this on web servers. I'm going to host this on a servers, and from there whatever the number of users are there, they will be able to access that, right? So what server admin will be doing, they will start creating the server. Okay, so it's not a task of one server. If you talk about flipkart.com, behind they will have thousands of servers. Okay, and to create thousands of server, it's not a single day task. Suppose in this role, in server admin or system admin role, you have two server administrator, or suppose you have three person working under this profile. Okay, so this three people has to sit and they have to create. Suppose in this project we need, suppose minimum 100 number of servers we need to host this website, right, to host this application. So this three-person has to sit and create 100 servers. Okay, now this they may take the time, it's not 1 day of time, right? So suppose 1 week here, suppose they took 2 weeks of time. I'm just talking about the minimum duration. Okay, 2 weeks of time they have taken, right? Okay, or no, not within 2 weeks it cannot be done, so let me make 1 month. 1 month of time. Okay, now once the server admin or system admin has created the servers, okay, they will deploy the servers on the code, they will deploy the code on this servers, right? Now build and release engineers come. Build and release engineers come. What they gonna do? So you can see, first developer will be writing the code, they will be pushing the code to the central location, and from there, right, a guy that is server admin they will create a server and they will deploy the code, and then tester will test the code. Now build and release engineer came into the profile. Now what they gonna do? So once the tester tests the application on the server, he would promote this application onto the next level. That means he would either test this code into a production, or he gonna release this into the production. That means we can release this website, or we can open this website for any users to use. Okay, that means we can release this in the production area, or we can test this in a pre-production field. Pre-production field means we will have a small setup just like production area, and there we will act as a customers, and we will be seeing whether everything is working fine or not. If this website suddenly receives thousands of requests, whether everything will be working fine or it will get hang, or there will be so many bugs, right? So everything will be observed with respect to customers. Okay, so now business, sorry, not business, build and release engineer, they will test this application in pre-production. So it depends on company whether they have pre-production area or not, or else they can finally release to the production, they can finally hand over to the client. Okay, so now tell me how much time this whole process took. This, guys, please go on mute now. Yeah, so now this whole process, planning, coding, testing, then server administrator, that means building the servers, then deploying. We call this as deploying the code to production. Deploying, deploying the code to production, or we can call handing over the application to the client. Okay, now having this many profiles included in this process, right? So how many profiles has been added here? First, developer, system admin, tester, build and release engineer, right? And this whole process will took minimum 6 months. Earlier, I'm talking about 10 years back, and this whole process took like 3 months, 6 months. And one of the important drawback was this was a manual process. This is the drawback. Manual process means developer will be writing the code, they used to push, and now testing team, people used to behind this. Testing team means people will be there, three set of people, four set of people. They gonna take the code, they gonna fetch the code manually, and they will start testing one by one, right? Then server admin, they will start creating manually the server. There was no automation process. Build and release engineer, they will again test the code in pre-production area, one by one they will test the code. There was nowhere automation was involved. The full process was a manual process. And you know, if it's a manual process, anyhow we will have error, right? As a human we cannot be a perfect, right? So tell me, suppose if you have a small factory, and you, what you do, you produce or you prepare chips, any chips, kurkure, lays, anything. Okay, and first you prepare chips, right? And after preparing chips, what you will do, you will do packing of the chips, right? After packing you will do delivering of the chips packet to the shops, right? Each and every shops you gonna do. Now tell me, if it's a manual process, if it's a manual process, though you have though you have a strength, like employees strength, suppose 100 number of people you have who is working under this, right? So first they will prepare the chips, and then they will start packing, and then they will start delivering, right? So this is a manual process, so this needs time, right? If it's manual process, they needs time. Suppose they will need 1 week of time, 1 week of time to deliver 100 chips, 100 chips packet, right? But suppose if you if you automate the whole process, you will set up one big machine, right? You will set up one big machine, Okay, and once the chips has been prepared, you have to just pour all the chips to this machine, and packing, labeling and everything will be done in a not second, I can tell, in suppose 10 minutes, right? If I'm adding machinery, it will be done in 10 minutes, right? I have to just set the command, this that everything will be done, right? And if I'm gonna add the machinery, there will be zero fault. The error, the suppose here manually I am doing, so I can get 10% of error. But if I add machines, there will be no intervention, right? No manual intervention. So tell me, what is the percentage of doing the error? It will get reduced to 1% or even 0.01%, right? Because it's a machine, right? Machine will not do the error. Whatever the task we have added, automatically it goes on doing the same thing, right? So now tell me, if you go for the manual approach, the timing will be more, the time duration will be lengthy, right? And even there will be a tendency to get the error, right? And even you can have the poor quality, right? Because if I make someone to pack, they may forget to add the labels in 2 or 3 chips packet, right? So quality will not be maintained. But if I go for the machinery, or if I automate the whole process, I will get, even I will be able to save the time, the whole duration will be less, right? Less duration, and even the quality will be maintained. And even the delivery, suppose if I got one proposal that I have to deliver 100 packets of chips in a single day, there is a demand, there is some function going on, right? So I can achieve that with the help of machine, I cannot achieve that with the manual things, right? So even I can have speed delivery. And if you gonna deliver the things on time, customer will be happy, right? If you're placing an order for pizza in a Zomato, and it shows that it will be delivered within 30 minutes, but it comes in 60 minutes, will you be happy? No, you will be little irate, right? Same here, if you are running a company, the very important parameter, that item has to be delivered to the client in a small duration. The more speed, the more happy will be the customer. Like this is the duration, and then quality also. If pizza has been delivered but the quality is not good, the taste is not good, will you go, will you not go and complain, right? You will place a complaint in Zomato, right? So same here, think as the same thing. Whatever we do in real time, just try to correlate the things, okay? Because DevOps is not this software, this whole process, whatever I have covered, this is known as SDLC, software development life cycle. Software development life cycle, the name itself tells. SDLC means software development life cycle. That means the life cycle of developing the software. What software? Applications, website, etc. etc. Okay. So this is the normal process what we used to follow earlier, 10 years back. Okay. And following this, what was the drawback? The drawback was this: more number of duration, less quality, no speed delivery, right? So for this reason, DevOps evolved in the market. So with the introduction of DevOps, what advantage we receive? Improving delivery, the whole process got automated. How it gonna get automated? We're gonna discuss that. Okay, the whole process is automated. Every phase we will have some tools which will automate the whole phase. So if the whole phase is automated, definitely I'm gonna get a better quality, definitely the delivery time will be improved, right? If I was about to deliver the things in 6 months, now I will be able to deliver the thing in 1 month, right? So it involves improving delivery, automation, quality, continuous monitoring, and continuous testing of the services. Okay, so now let me cover this, then we're going to discuss this. How can I introduce myself as an AWS DevOps engineer in a interview? Okay, and then what are the things I need to add? I don't know what's wrong with people. Yeah, then I need to add that what is my day-to-day activities, because if you attend the interview, the very first thing they're gonna ask, tell me the roles and responsibilities. Okay, so what point I have to add, I'm gonna discuss that also. Okay, but before that, let me so, recap, right now I have done whatever the topic I have discussed, what is DevOps and why DevOps, right? I understand, I hope that the person who has attended yesterday class and today class, it will be very clear what is DevOps and why DevOps, right? And he must have understand very clearly about SDLC. Okay, now the next topic, there are some myths, some false rumor about DevOps. So what is that? So let me go for the document. So you can see this, we have handwritten document. Okay, we used to have handwritten documents so that it will be easier for our students to go through the points. So myth is, that means the false rumor in the market, that if one has to learn for the DevOps, or if one the person is planning to switch the domain to AWS DevOps, he should have programming language or programming skills required. And the second one, he should have the Linux experience. The third one, he should have some IT experience. And the fourth one is, non IT people cannot go for AWS DevOps domain. This is just a myth, guys. This is just a false rumor, because even we are working in we are working in the same domain, AWS DevOps, then Azure. I started my career as a non IT, then I switched to server admin, and then I switched to AWS. Like, I started as cloud engineer, and then I got the opportunity to work for DevOps, and now in Azure field. So no one will, no one can, no person can tell that non IT people cannot do, because you can think, you can see myself, I'm the example. So it's not about non IT, it's not about any field, whatever your field is, non IT, server admin, window administrator, or anything, BCom, BSc, anything, you just need dedication. You just need to stick with the domain. If you want to change to AWS DevOps, you have to stick with that. It's not like that I have done the course, I'm not getting the job, I have to leave this. No. If this is your aim, you have to stick with that unless and until you achieve that. This determination should have in one's life. Okay, whatever the field, because this DevOps field, if you check the market, if you go for 3.5 years, you can expect 15 to 16 LPA. This is the only field that is in trend. And having less numbers of years, you can achieve this much package. 15 to 16 LPA package. One can expect, if they are even they have served 10 years in a company, they cannot expect that, right? If that person has joined three LPA package, and even he has served 10 years, he will not be able to achieve 15 to 16 LPA. So this is DevOps only. Why the people are so mad about DevOps? Because the demand is there. If you have completed the course, if you have the proper hands-on, the real-time scenarios, and if you have the most important, you have confidence, and you should have communication skills, a better communication skills, because if you lag in communication skills, you will not be able to deliver the things that you know. Okay, so if you guys, anyone is very weak in English, please start practicing. Stand in front of the mirror and try to say some, like, anything on the topic, any topic, pick any topic and start telling, start like giving like some types of like composition, we call, right, composition lecture for 5 minutes, 10 minutes. If you have a friend circle, start conversing, start talking in English, because communication is what matters. Even if you do not have, suppose if you have 80% knowledge in the domain and your communication is too good, excellent, the interviewer gonna choose you. Okay, so once this course is finished, please go for the certification, because certification also matters. Okay, suppose in a company there is a single vacancy and two profile got shortlisted, suppose yours profile, and the interviewer sees that you have done the certification. Okay, and the other profile, he also has 100% knowledge but he has not done the certification. So definitely your profile will be picked, because of the certification the weightage of your resume is more than that people. Okay, so do not panic for the certification, it is very easy. Once you are done with the class, once you are done with the training, once you are done with the basics, everything, real time projects, live projects, real time scenarios, and even you will get the support from our team, whatever the interview scenarios, because most of the trainer they used to be part of interview panel. So whatever is the recent scenarios, we document scenarios along with the answer, we document in the drive, and we used to send the notification to the students so that they can have a look on those questions. Okay, so do not think about anything, this is just a myth, nothing else. You don't require any programming. If you want to go for AWS DevOps, Linux, we gonna take care of Linux. Everything will be covered from our end, from A to Z. Whatever the syntax we need, just you have to learn those syntax. You don't need any IT experience. Okay, so I hope I am very, very clear. Now, why organization needs DevOps specialist? Why people, why companies are hiring DevOps engineer? Because he will be responsible for faster delivery of the product, not product here, software, application, website. And he will make sure that the quality is improved, right? And if I automate this, if I automate the full process, right? So you can see in testing domain, earlier I used to have 2 3 people hired as a tester, right? But right now in testing behind there will be application, the application which will help me to test the code. So I just need one person, that's it, I don't need a set of people for the testing. Okay, so it will reduce the manpower. Reduce the manpower means the company, for a company the expenditure will be reduced, they don't need so much investment behind the employees. They can hire one DevOps engineer, and DevOps engineer will be taking care of all these things from A to Z. Just coding part developer will be doing, after coding part, testing, deploying, this monitoring, everything gonna take care by DevOps engineer. How? With the available tools. Okay, so reduce outage, that means there will be no lag, like there will be no dragging of the duration. If we have committed that within 1 month this services has to deliver to the client, we gonna wrap that in a single month, we will not drag the things to 3 months or 4 months, no. Okay, so these are the advantages why companies are looking for DevOps engineer, DevOps specialist. Okay, now you can see these are the phases: developer, build, test, quality assurance, deploy, maintenance, monitoring. Okay, so this was the myth behind the DevOps. Now, DevOps history. So we will have a quick, we will complete this quick topic, DevOps history, because we should be knowing, right, how DevOps came into the picture, what was the date and time. So now you can see DevOps history in 2009. In 2009, the very first conference named DevOps Days was held in Belgium by Belgium consultant. Who was that? Patrick. He founded the conference in 2012. The State of DevOps report was launched. Okay, in 2014, the annual State of DevOps report was published by this person, and there was a gang of persons. Okay, in 2015, this person, this three people, Nicole, Jean, and Jez, they have founded Dora. What is Dora? DevOps Research and Assignment. They started working on DevOps. In 2017, they accelerated building and scaling high performing technology organization. That means they started working in 2009 and they succeeded in 2017. Until now, DevOps is evolving. It's in trend. So in the upcoming years, whether you are working as a window administrator, system administrator, anyhow, the company only will tell you to start learning AWS DevOps. Because right now in company, in cloud, like in the market, almost 75% they are migrating to cloud. They are migrating to cloud. AWS is the leader. AWS covers almost 35% in the market. 35%. Second is the Azure. Azure is very easy, very, very easy. But people, if you talk about the standard, AWS is a standard. Azure just covers like something like 18 or 20% of the market. Okay, so no worries. I'm gonna come up with AWS classes also, and this I'm gonna cover in the AWS demos. Okay, so AWS, Azure, and the third one is GCP, Google Cloud Platform. The fourth one is Oracle, and even Alibaba. So their contribution is very, very less in the market. What is in trend? AWS, Azure. Azure, if you have learned AWS DevOps, if you have learned AWS DevOps, for you it will be just, you just need 20 days of time. 20 days of time to learn Azure. It is damn easy. It is damn easy. You just need 20 days of time to learn Azure. But if you have learned Azure DevOps and if you start learning AWS DevOps, you will take 3 months of time. Because AWS DevOps, we will have full, like even graphical user interface. You can see this is the console. This is account. If you log in, you have to just create an account and you will be able to log into account. Here you will be able to find so many services. Okay, so if you have learned about this same feature, you will get in Azure. Same feature, same feature. And Azure, if you talk about, it's user friendly. It's user friendly. But if you talk about security, if you talk about the market, if you have learned AWS DevOps and also Azure, then you can demand the company, you can demand for a higher pay scale. If your current LP is something 4 to 5, you can easily expect almost 10 LPA. So start learning this, and then if we come up with the Azure, you can join that batch for free. Okay, so once you have enrolled for PS Technology, if we will come up with any related course, Azure, AWS, Telugu, or Linux, any programming, you will be welcome to join that for free. Just for study materials, if you need, or recordings you need, you have to pay a small like amount, 999 or something. Okay, so now we have discussed about history also. What is the next topic? DevOps history done. Why organization needs DevOps specialist? We have done SDLC. So this is SDLC. This approach. What is SDLC? SDLC is an approach or the process how the services has to be delivered to the client, or in short, okay, in short, or in an organization working as developer, tester, or DevOps engineer, everyone has to understand the workflow or the process of delivering services to the client. How the services are getting delivered to the client, everyone has to know. Being a part of the team, I told, right, we will have a team, and this team will have 10 to 14 members. Everyone should be aware of the flow, the phases, the first phase, the second phase. This is called phase. First phase, second phase, third phase, fourth phase, fifth phase. Even you will have some one or two more phase. Okay. Now, what is SDLC? So think of SDLC is like a recipe for making a cake. Suppose you want to bake a cake, right? So if you want to bake a cake, the very first thing, what you're gonna see? You will see for the recipe. Recipe means one by one step you have to follow. You cannot do all the thing in a single shot, right? You have to go step by step instruction, right? On what to do from gathering the ingredients. First you will arrange for the ingredients. You need flour, you need milk, you need chocolate, you need egg, whatever, right? First you will prepare for the ingredients, and that is known as planning, the phase. Okay. Then similarly, SDLC is like a set of instruction for building software. It tells developers what steps to follow, from planning, then designing, then testing, and finally delivering the software, right? So what is SDLC? It's an approach, or it's a set of instruction that you have to follow. Why to follow? To deliver the software to the client. It includes planning, designing, testing, and delivering. Right? So let me show you the steps, SDLC. So we can cover, it's 9. So we can cover SDLC today. Just a second. Yeah. So we have two SDLC approach. Okay. So earlier we used to have this waterfall methodology, that is step by step. This, the process what I discussed, this is waterfall, right? Why waterfall? So now what it is compared to waterfall, because how water flows. Suppose from higher point to the lower point, the water will flow like this, right? That means first, the water is here. Now it is here. If the water comes here, it cannot go back. Right? Now again, the water will flow here. Then here. And then here. Once water has flown in this area, it cannot go back to first phase. This is known as waterfall method. Okay. So in earlier phase, we used to have the same phase means, let me make a point. So first phase, plan. What happened? Just a second. Yeah, plan. Then code building will be taken care by developer, and after code, build will be done. What is build? We're gonna discuss, and then test will be done. After test, quality check will be done. Quality check will be done. That's known as quality assurance. And then deploy, and then monitoring 24 by 7. And then after monitoring, any issues comes, then it will be maintenance. It will be maintenance. Okay. So I told you earlier we used to have different team, development team, operation teams, right? So when my project manager or company head will be doing the planning, the gathering of the requirement, the developer will be sitting. Developer will be waiting for the plan. That means here developer will be depending on the planning. Now when The developer will be writing the code. The build team will be waiting for the code to receive. Build team, they will be depending on the developer. Similarly, tester when the build will be going on, tester will be sitting, and tester will be dependent on the build team. Once the tester got the code, they will start testing the code. Then quality assurance team. Meanwhile, quality assurance team will be sitting. They will be waiting for the code. Similarly, that means next phase. Each next phase is dependent of previous phase. They are fully dependent, right? So this planning took 1 week, coding took 3 months, build took 1 week, testing part took 1 week, 2 week, quality took checking of the quality of application or website, it took 1 week. Then deployment. Once the code is deployed, then only monitoring will start. Once the monitoring start, then only we will be able to find the bugs, and then only maintenance part will be started. Okay, so everyone is independent here. So this is the part of development team, and this is a part of operation teams, right? So here this is SDLC. What SDLC? Waterfall SDLC. What we used to follow 10 years back. So if here this build and release engineer will get some bug. Suppose the code has been deployed in pre-production area, and we got some bugs. Okay, we got some bugs. The bug is, suppose if any customer, or suppose we have behaved as a customer, and whenever we are searching for shoes, and if I hit enter, I will get no search found, I get error, right? So what is that? That is a bug, right? So now operation team will tell that there is some bugs. They're gonna tell to development team. Development team will tell, already we have tested, already we have seen everything was working fine. It must be your fault. Operation team will tell it must be your fault. So there was no cooperation. Okay. So this way they used to fight. So if this whole process took 6 months, and if in case if any error bugs come, again extra 1 month or 2 months, because again it will be started from planning. Again it will go, not planning, again develop. Suppose any bug came here. Okay, so they're gonna play the blame game. They will blame this and they will blame this. Now again the developer will start reviewing the code. Again it will go for build, again it will go for test, again quality, again deployment, again monitoring, again maintenance. So again extra time in delivering the product to customer. Not product, it's a software, delivering the services to the client, right? So this was waterfall method, what we used to follow earlier, step by step. Okay, then after some year, agile method came. So what is agile? It's an improvement of waterfall. That means task will be breaked into a small fragments, and continuous feedback with the client, and continuous deployment. Okay, it works on only development level. There is a term scrum in agile method. Silos issues, that is employees are separated. So when this method came, agile method. Okay, so suppose you have received a project, you have received a proposal, and that task will be divided into several subtasks. So this was all about waterfall. Okay, so this waterfall has so many drawbacks. So the improved version of this method, what is the improved version? That as soon as you will get the project, this project will have subdivision, and the work, this subdivision called scrums. and each work will be allocated to a set of team. Okay, so proper SDLC steps: develop, build, test, deploy. This we have seen, right? So now the very first sprint one, you can call sprint one, sprint two, sprint three, sprint four. Okay, so suppose this is a set of sprint. So suppose here I have assigned the developer, I have assigned one set of developer to prepare this part, to prepare this part: login, become a seller, more cart. One of the developer I have assigned this task, and the second developer I have assigned this task to prepare the coding for this task. Okay, so I am dividing the task, I'm dividing the task. Okay, and this whole process is known as scrum. Okay, this sprint. So it will be, suppose first sprint, I'm gonna ask developer one to design the very first part, that's called sprint one, and I'm gonna give the duration. Suppose you have to complete this in 1 week. Similarly, sprint two. Sprint two, I have to give the duration that you have to design the second part and take the timing of you will have the timing of 3 week. Okay, so each sprint will have duration. Each sprint will have duration. 1 week, 3 week, it depends how huge project you have, it depends. Okay, so here what I have done, I have distributed the work, right, with the duration: 1 week, 3 week, 2 week, 4 week. Okay, so you can see sprint one, I have asked that developer to design login and logout profile, on login and logout catalog. Okay, similarly sprint 2, I have asked that developer to design product images, catalog, and price chart. Sprint 3, I have asked to create the dashboard, to create the catalog, to create the this section my account, then setting. Sprint 4, I have designed to design the cart section, payment section, delivery status. Okay, in this manner I have designed. Okay, so now project started. Once I receive the project, I will divide the project into a small sprint, and this whole process will be known as scrum, right? And in this manner everyone has to work. So let me show you. The phases will be same, the phases will be same. Okay, the phases will be same what phases we have, it will be same phases here. So plan, code, build, after build, test, quality assurance, deploy, monitor, maintenance. Phases remains constant, phases is not going to change. Okay, the process is changed. This is deploy, monitor, maintenance. Okay, so now planning is done. Project manager informed us about the appraisal. Sorry, appraisal, not proposal. Sorry. Now, sprint one. The developer, there will be suppose 4 developers. I have divided the task into 4 sprint, right? You can see 4 sprint. That means 4 developers are there. Okay. Now, sprint one. 1 week of time I have given to this developer. He has done the work. So he gonna push the code to remote storage, right? He will push the code to remote storage. Now this developer, this 3 developer will be working because he got the sprint duration 1 week, and suppose this person got 2 week, and this person 3 week, and this person got 4 week of duration. So he has done the work, he will push the code to storage, central storage. Now from here, build team will start building the code. That means, see, right now build team is not depending fully on the developer. Even a single developer has done the task. Suppose this first developer got the task of sprint 1 to design login and logout, right? To design login and logout interface. Okay, so suppose first page, developer 1 has completed the first page of code. Okay, so he has completed the first page of code. He has to push that to storage, central storage. Then he will be focusing on the second page. So till the time, first page will go for the build. Once the build is complete, it will go for the test. Once the test is complete, it will go for the quality assurance. So small fragment, the whole task was divided into small fragments. And here we should not wait that full from A to Z, the developer will be writing the code and then the next process start. No, this part of the code has been written, the process starts: build, test, quality assurance, deploy, monitor, maintenance. This part has been completed, the developer has pushed, again the phases will start. So it goes on, this whole process continues till the last sprints get complete. So in this manner, what will happen? In this manner, there will be a continuous feedback will be delivered to the client. So one sprint completed, it has been gone for build succeed, test succeed, quality has been passed, then deployed, then monitoring, maintenance. So for each phase, build passed, this client will receive the feedback that build got passed. If build got failed, client will receive the feedback build got failed. Even developer will receive the feedback. If build got failed, again it will build team will push the code to GitHub, this not GitHub, this central storage. Again, this developer, the first developer will pull the code and again he will review the code. Again, he will rectify the code and he will push the code back to the storage. Again, build will start. Again, test. Test got passed, this person will receive the notification. Quality got passed, client will receive the notification. That means we are adding client in every phase. Just like if you are placing an order in Zomato, we are able to track the location, right? Delivery person has crossed HSR. Delivery person has crossed Marathali, right? So why we are receiving that update? Because we will be able to know that where that delivery person is, right? Where exactly he is there, how much time he will need. Same way, here client has to be aware of each and every phase. Client and the developer will be in loop whatever is happening, because this service we have to provide to the client. He has the right to know about everything what is happening, right? So here continuous feedback will be sent to the client. So you can see the whole framework called as Scrum: continuous feedback with the client and continuous improvement. Suppose now login page, the first developer has created login page and logout page, right? And the client received the feedback that login and logout phase, or the what we call section, has been completed. Suppose if client comes up with one more idea, that also I want that in case of login, if anyone, suppose they have created the login phase using the email ID, okay, and so client can come up that along with email ID one can also enter the mobile number, okay. Or he can come up that if there, like if a person is also already a customer, he can directly use the Gmail account, and using the email account he will be able to log in directly without entering the password. So in any phase, if client comes back to us with any type of suggestion, we have to implement that. Because why? Tell me why. Because he is the person who is giving us the business, right? So it just the same scenario. Suppose if I talk about the example, suppose you have hired a civil engineer to construct your four-story building. Okay. So client, the civil engineer constructed four-story building, and then he called you to come and check, right? Now suppose if you come and check, and if you see that the kitchen is very small, in the ground floor the kitchen is very small, I wanted a bigger kitchen. So once the everything is done, you cannot come up with the suggestion. That will not be implemented, right? So what is the best process? The best process is to divide this whole project, and if this ground floor has been completed, I have to, my client should get the notification that ground floor has been completed, now my client come and he will check and he will tell, no, I want kitchen to be little bigger, right? Now there will be possibility, there will be chances that it can be improved, because now whole set of building has not been created, right? So there will be chances. So why this suggestion will come? Because we are keeping the client in a loop. So if you are keeping the client in a loop, every time he can come and he can tell what exactly he requires, what is the actual requirement. Every time, the till the time we have constructed this four-story building. Now once the full story building completed, now client can tell, yes, this is exactly according to my requirement, because we have kept the client in each and every phases loop, right? So now tell me, the client will be satisfied here or the client will be satisfied here? If client comes and tells that I don't like this, I need like bigger kitchen here, I need some type of living room here, so this cannot be possible. Here client will be irate, though he will make the payment, or even he can tell that I don't want, I will not make the payment, you did not provide me the better service, you have taken this much of time, why you did not call me when ground floor was like fully prepared or it got created, why you did not send me the notification, I would have come and suggested, right? So DevOps is this. Okay, so now do not worry about DevOps, we were discussing Agile. Okay, so this is what I'm talking about, Agile. This is Agile, and this is waterfall. This was waterfall method, which has so many drawbacks. Now we are not using this method. It's a older method. Okay, and this is Agile method. But still, there was one drawback. What was the drawback in Agile method? The drawback is, though the task was distributed in a fragments, in a sprints, and the whole process was scrum, but still there was a separate team, development and operation team. Still there was a different team. Still there was cooperation lag. So now DevOps came into the picture, and what DevOps does, that why there have to be two different teams. This person will be coming in evening morning shift, this person will be coming in night shift. There is no collaboration, there is no proper communication between this team. So now we will have a single team. We will have a single team, whether here developer, whether here server admin, whether here build and release engineer. And this is DevOps. So DevOps is the improved version of Agile method. DevOps is the improved version of Agile method. Everything is same in DevOps. Just a small difference, that why there has to be different team. Everyone has to sit and work together. Okay, everyone has to sit and work together. Now, automation. How this SDLC process got integrated, or how this SDLC process got automated. So, now let me tell you that also. Or it's 9:30. So, like, can we continue, guys, or tomorrow we can have, right? Yeah, tomorrow we can have. So, let me stop the recording here.